Austin M2 DeFi.
Yo,
How's it
yo,
going, bro?
yo.
How you doing, man? How you doing on this wonderful Wednesday?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Right
How
on,
you
man.
doing?
I'm doing good. We're about to wrap up an auction, man. That thing is just keeps rolling, man. I mean, there's that. That's just adding to the Dow Treasury, adding to the Queens. Great stuff, man. Let me jump over there and share my screen. I think Tim will join. If you help me, Austin, if you see him pop on, let me know because I got to bring him up. I don't know how to. Yeah, I can't do it when I
I
have
won't be
share
able
my.
to see him pop on.
You'll be able to see him at the bottom, right?
I will?
Yeah, you should. You see me and
No,
you at the bottom? No?
no, it's just me.
Oh, well, you'll see him. He'll join you. All right, bro. Hold on. There we go. So there we go. Look. Oh man, a second.
You missed it. What kind of reporting is this, or what kind of entertainment is this supposed to be? You missed the entertainment, Ray.
That's right. What is this racket going on? Right.
You missed the entertainment.
Hey, I'm gonna blame it on Tim, Austin. It's crazy, but yes, we have to wait at least a minute, and then I'll refresh again. But the price is not too bad. The Beatty B, 1,003. Seedsy at 1,044. You got the Hy-Vee at 1990. A crown. That's a good price for a crown, Austin. And then look, he's got a little cowboy hat.
Cowboy hat, treasure chest.
That is nice. And then you got the Nicaragua, 6,955. That's a great price for a princess. And the great thing now with all princesses and royals, their empowerment is all Apex Bees. So good stuff, man. Right? Let me see here. Let me get over to, and I'll come back after it's a minute because I have to read Nicaragua. The Nele does these things and it's amazing. I learn a lot from this stuff, bro. The name Nicaragua comes from the words Nicaria and agua. Nicaragua were the first Indian tribes to occupy the shores of Lake Nicaragua, whereas agua means water in Spanish. When the Spaniards arrived in the country in the 1500s, they named it after the people they met and the vast amount of water in and around the country. Lake Nicaragua is the largest lake in Central America. It is used as a water supply for many parts of the country and is a huge tourist attraction. It also home to the only freshwater sharks, bro. I wonder how big those things are. That's kind of crazy. You ever been down South America, anywhere like that?
Not South America. I've been to Central America.
Okay.
Costa Rica and Mexico.
Right on. Okay. Cool, man. Yeah, I got to check it out. I don't know if I want to jump in the freshwater lake with the sharks, though.
Yeah, that doesn't sound too appealing.
That's not appealing. That's not appealing at all. Well, his devices, I heard him pop on, but his device is not working. So either or. We will get back. Let me make sure and share my screen for the final, and because I know some people jump in there late. And let me see, refresh. Usually Dusty does the ether scan, and then
the winner is
yeah.
O'Reilly's. We're not gonna know until the next one starts.
Now this is a trick, man. You see how I tricked it? Do this, and then the numbers come up. So this is the final, man. Nice across the board. You don't see any doubles except for the end, the bookends here. Same person. So congrats.
I had actually bidded on one as we were starting this show.
Okay.
And I thought I won. And that refresh made me realize I did not win.
Yeah, that's how it goes, bro. That's the deal. You know what I mean? But hey, which one? Which one did you like?
I liked the crown with the headphone bees and the cowboy hat, M2 necklace. I like the empowerment Apex.
Yeah, that's nice, man. I'm starting to like. I like this Hy-Vee guy too. He's put together. Looks pretty good.
That one's good looking.
He is good looking bee. But yeah, man, awesome stuff. The auction, man. You're looking at this treasury. It's going bonkers. That's what we're doing now. Right, Austin? You had a good idea about talking about it on Wednesdays. Is just discussions about the DAO, man. And this is things that we need to talk about because there's big, huge things happening here. And then look at this Queen Tax Vault, man. It's up over 800. That is ridiculous, man. Incredible. I do like this too. This new thing that they added, the circulating bee hunting. That's cool too. I like that. Last thing though. Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you let's take care of the housekeeping. We got some meme contests going on, and then
Yep.
as Ray, like you said, we're gonna cover some stuff about the DAO, and you've got some to share with us. So let's take care of housekeeping. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, post on Twitter, get people in Discord. Let's keep on having some fun.
Right on. And this is the meme contest that's been going on Twitter. A lot of people active. This is great. There's 30 people that put in some memes all day today and last night. So it's awesome to see so many people participating. They're getting better and better. And that's kind of the whole idea is we have an army of people that can do a lot of cool stuff. So I'm going to spin the wheel and I'll write it down because D-Ray's not with us tonight. And we will see the winner for this one with the it was the elves this today. So let me spin it. Look at that. Let me get it ready. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. All right. Who's the lucky winner? Oh, Janet.
Janet's in the house.
Way to go, Janet. That's awesome. Congrats. Let me get that there, Janet.
So what happens with this wheel spinning? They're creating memes every day.
Yep.
And what do they win? What did Janet just win right here?
Well, she did. She won a slot into the trait war game, right? And some cool whales in our group are putting in World Cup bees for this group, right? It's a separate group, just that's going on Discord. The competition of everybody's the top 238. This is another whole section over here that who wins these 12 Beesmas days, the 12 days of Beesmas. Those 12 people are going to be put in through this World Cup bees that some whales are putting in this group. So it's a big deal, man, because it's a smaller group. You're talking about 238 over on the Discord, which is also great because there's a lot of bees and even World Cups being put in for them there. But this is also another way to get involved and get some ETH, man, because that's real deal stuff, man.
You want to share the World Cup screen real quick just to touch a highlight on that housekeeping, where we're at in goals and
trait war.
What's going on, Timmy?
Oh, let me stop sharing and get him in. Is he there?
I see him.
Okay, then I can't do. Oh, there he goes. All right, cool. Oh, hold on. Let me get the.
Now you don't.
That's right. It's like it's Ricky Bobby. It's Ricky Bobby.
David Blaine.
If you ain't first, you last. Hold on. So here's a trait war. All you got to do is always to check this out. Join the match. Jump in there.
We're looking at I see socialbees.io. I don't see trait war.
What do you mean? This is trait war. You don't see?
I see our auction.
Hold on. I'll go back to the one again. Share screen. Entire screen. Allow. Now you see it?
Now we do.
Now you do. Now you see me. Now you don't. That's it. So red team is still kind of leading the way, Austin. I don't know. I'm more of a red team. I'm more on that side. I do have some in the blue team as well, but 193 goals, soccer bees, and World Cup bees on the red team, 171 on the blue team. And again, what's really cool, we were just talking about this yesterday, Austin, was cool, is Argentina is in the finals, bro. And that is the next Royal coming in here. So just amazing stuff, man.
We only got 6 days to get that Royal in there. So we may not see the Royal in there. So those that are holding out on their soccer ball bees, get them staked. This is your last week to your last 5-6 days to call your friends, call your family, call people in the bees. Make sure you're on Twitter finding people that hold bees and just having them reach out to all their people to get this queen in there, because that's an extra 50 ETH. I don't know if what societies most people are from, but 50 ETH is a large amount, and that's an extra 50 ETH added into that prize vault. So I'd be happy with 50 ETH extra.
Heck yeah, man. And then, like you said, you got to get everybody involved. So reach out. I've been doing it as well. There's people that just sometimes are not dialed in. Kind of crazy world. Everybody's kind of caught up in their own life, man. So you got to remind them.
What other life is there than a bee life?
That's what I say, man. I don't know any other life. I'm all about some bees, bro. But this is an awesome game. Very cool. It's really neat to get everybody involved and see how you can do stuff. So big kudos to Trait War. Great idea. great concept, and you know, this is going to be a big thing going forward. So it's very cool. You know, and like I said too, these NFTs that were minted, first generation is going to be a cool thing. Cool, be a you know, be a part of something like this, because this is going to be around for a while. Very good stuff, man. So what do? We get back to we're going to talk about the DAO, man.
Yeah, you got some special stuff to share, and I've got some color commentary.
Right on, bro. So let me just go through this little presentation. It's real quick, just to get us on, you know, the idea of what's going on. And then yeah, I got a cool you know, article that's kind of talking about exactly, Austin, what's going on. But the futures of the future of VCs and DAOs, because this is a mix, and obviously that's what our project is about, is that kind of mix of VCs and this DAO, right? The cool thing with the traditional the VC space has obvious pros, but there are some pain points, and we're going to go over some of the pain points of the kind of the centralized type of VCs, what they're been doing for, you know, decades now. VCs have been around. Can DAOs fulfill the gap? There's little gaps that you know, and pain points that those VCs kind of deal with, and we're going to see if you know, these DAOs can fill those gaps. New DAOs growth accelerating in defiance of the bear market. So this whole 2021, 2022, DAOs have really been spinning up in a big way. As with any new technology, DAOs have certain risks, such as security threats and arbitrary decision making. So that's another thing that you'll see where DAOs are going to be able to help fix with VCs, especially too with diversity of ideas. I like that because, you know, look at ours, Austin. We have a big wide range of just generations, right? You're a young dude. I'm kind of middle of the road, and then we have kind of ones that have been around for a while. You know, seniors, right? So it's awesome to see that we have really a diverse group of kind of thinking, and that's what you really want, right?
Absolutely.
The Bees DAO venture capital funded more, and this is, you think about this, right? They funded more than half of all U.S. public companies in 1979, right? Thus representing a third of all stock markets value. Wow. So all the top valuable, most valuable companies in the U.S., Apple, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, and Facebook began as VC-backed startups. So the top 5, bro. We're in a good space, Austin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But they call those, what are those called? The FANG companies? FAANG, yep. Facebook, right. Apple, yep. Alphabet, Netflix, and Google, or something like that.
Yep, right on. Exactly. Merging the two concepts. Decentralized autonomous organizations, DAOs, are a good vehicle for addressing some of the gaps in traditional VC landscape. A decentralized version of a company, a DAO, is driven by community, governance, and decision-making, directly targeting some of the conventional VC pain points, thereby enabling faster decision-making, lesser control for startups, and adhocracy. Additionally,
what does that word mean? Adhocracy.
Well, I guess it's kind of like an overarching control, man. I mean, you know, when you have this small group, which VCs are, that when they want what they want, when they kind of take over, I guess of a startup or something like that, it's their way, man. And that's what I mean.
So like they invested in the startup, and because they put up their money, they want the startup to run the way that they want it to run, instead of the startup running their own startup.
Gotcha. Absolutely. Right. Additionally, DAOs provide increased investor flexibility, increased diversity and funded ideas, decentralized control, and improved access to public capital. Right. And then this is where I'm going to end up, because this is the question I'm going to ask, and then we'll kind of discuss it, man. So will DAOs potentially replace VCs, or do DAOs pose a threat to VCs? Or, and it's not on here, or is it going to be some kind of a merge, right? And that's what I think more, Austin. It's how we talk about with everything, right? DeFi compared to CeFi, centralized, right? There's always going to be this hybrid. There's going to be some that are all about DeFi. There's going to be some that are all about centralized, and there's going to be these in-between things, right? We don't know what it's going to look like, but that's the question. I'm going to kind of throw it over to you if you've had anything to add. But then I'm going to go through, this cool article, because this talks about, it's kind of like it's speaking to us, man. At least that I was reading this, right? What are your thoughts on some of this stuff, man?
Well, first, I gotta give you congratulations. That was a well put together PowerPoint. You're getting dangerous over there. You're getting dangerous.
Thank you, bro.
We're gonna have to post that in the Discord because that was great. So people can share it, read it later on for themselves. I'm just enjoying this content. I mean, I'm enjoying basking in your presence. So carry on.
Anyways, bro, that's funny, but I appreciate it, man. I'm trying to get it concise, Austin. I know we run long sometimes, but traditional ways for VCs. Among the 3 ways to invest in private capital are buyouts, growth funds, and venture capital. Venture capital is a form of private equity that finances startup companies that are expected to have exponential return and high growth potential. And I want to pause there because, man, bro, the whole reason that we all came over to this space is because it's really different than anything with Wall Street or stocks. The growth over here is ridiculous compared to percentage wise, Austin.
But it's not only the growth is not only, you know, it's high growth potential, but also that high growth potential is to a normal citizen, to the population, you know, of the world. Before with VCs, you know, to get access to those type of deals, to get access to be one of the first investors in Facebook or Google or Netflix, like the ones that you're showing just in the previous slides.
Yeah.
You had to be a part of a special group of people to even get word of those opportunities. So that's what, you know, with DAOs or with crypto, what's awesome is that it's opened up those opportunities to everybody. Now, just as a society, we got to be more educated on risk reward, on the risks that we are taking with our capital.
Yep. I remember when it was like the first year when we were starting, there was a guy in our group. I really haven't seen him around a lot, but he was an accountant for an oil company and oil exploration. Dude, there's no way that we could ever be kind of part of that stuff. You need big money. You need billions of dollars for oil exploration, man. But there was starting to be some ideas and things knocked around over there where they were talking about a DAO like this or something maybe different where you're tokenizing that thing where it can kind of be spread out of that. But oil exploration, I know it's not environmentally whatever what people would think, but I'm just talking about the ideas. It was always where you're kind of locked out of that kind of stuff. But what you just hit the nail on the head is that kind of stuff, man. Is so many more people are going to be able to be a part of this, and that's really what's cool, right? And you know, talking about, I want to go back to this VC fund ranges. You know, normal is 15 to 27%, a high premium compared to, you know, what just if you're doing S&P 500 companies, 9.9 to 10% returns the last 10 years. But again, you just got to think of the exponential growth. We're only, you know, we were at a $3 trillion market cap with crypto. Now we dropped under $1 trillion. Man, bro, just think of the growth that's about to happen here. And when you're going to be able to do, you know, some of these type of startups, man, you're going to get in. And that's what this chart here, and I can't blow it up. Hopefully you can see it. But if you look at the global venture dollar volume, 2012 to 2021, you can see it's really starting to grow, man. But you know, this is really going to start taking off because this red orange or whatever, this technology growth, it's really starting to expand. But I think this is going to come up to this late stage where, you know, that's where most VCs jump in with some of these companies. But technology, I think that's a big one, man. Obviously, that's what we're in: blockchain, DAOs, crypto, you know, any of that stuff with NFTs. Big technology move, and I think I'm just kind of pumped that we have this vision of that this DAO that we're in with NFTs as the identifier. Well, we're a Web3 VC, man, and that $1 billion fund is going to be at our disposal when it matures, right? That it's something that we don't. It would be ridiculous to go and tap into that now, because that's not the price. That's very, very undervalued. We're going to go and make this $1 billion fund, right?
Absolutely.
Right on, man. So let's go. DAO VCs, the concept. So DAO VC is building on the concept of community decision-making and governance. And it's in contrast with traditional VC, central authority decision-making. It will be an autonomous venture ecosystem for both end users and startups, right? the idea and even to the control we kind of touched on when we were going through that presentation, it won't be this overarching thing. I think, like I said, a lot of this, you're going to get more out of it. You're going to be able to kind of, throw this into the DAO, into this like mastermind group, and you get all kinds of ideas out of this, right?
Yeah. Just to pause you right there and to piggyback off that.
Yeah.
So I watched a show on Netflix actually a couple nights ago.
Yeah.
I've seen it on there a few times. I just never, it's caught my interest, but I just never went and watched it. But I watched it fully the other night, and it's called "The Boy That Harnessed the Wind," and it's set somewhere it's called Wimby. It's a small village in Africa, and their main source of income for their entire village. It's a small village. I don't know the population, but they didn't really have a whole lot of technology, a whole lot of infrastructure. And their main source of transportation was walking, and a bicycle was like, you had a little bit more wealth if you had a bike.
Yeah.
But so their main source, they all lived off the land. So if they said, like, the family that it followed, they were upset that their previous generations used to have to pray to the rain or pray to the gods for it to rain. And so like the wife and the husband in this movie promised that they weren't going to get to a low level of wealth that they had to pray to the gods just for rain. They wanted to have a sustainable income so they can feed their families and whatnot. Well, they ended up going through a few droughts, and their land dried up and throughout the whole village. And so all of them were struggling to figure out how to have food. They didn't have any grain. They didn't have any way of producing food for themselves, let alone an income. And so the village is starting to starve. And one kid, he was 13 years old. He got kicked out of school, but he worked a deal for a way for him to get into the library and start studying something. It was a book. It was like using energy. So he figured out this 2001. It was based in, it's a true story, but he starts reading this book on how to use energy. And it was a way for him. He figured out a way to create a windmill to power, to create electricity, to power a pump. And that pump drew water out of their well. And he was able to water the farmland, and then they're able to create more harvests and have, instead of relying on rain, they're able to create more food and whatnot. He ended up getting a couple scholarships, and he ended up actually graduating from Dartmouth University, and he's created wealth for the village and whatnot. But what was cool about it to me was how many, ingenuity and how many ideas are out there of these local villages around the world that they'd be able to come up with to help create a better standard of living for all their villages or their towns or even their cities. And they're lacking, maybe an access of capital, or even, there's all these great ideas of engineering and ingenuity that don't get explored because maybe they're not fancy enough for the VCs. They're not fancy enough for the bank.
Right.
To where here you can have literal citizens around the world, or people, I say citizens, but actual people. You have humanity around the world that have access to, something like this, the SBU DAO, and we'd be able to fund ideas around the world for people to better their living situations, better their economies, better their governments, better their cities. And what's great about that is we're not biased, or we're not stuck to one form of thinking, because we're global. So it's not just this group of people in Northern California, or these group of people in New York, or this group of people in Hong Kong or Berlin that get to decide what gets funded and what doesn't. It's actual global people, whether they're in South America or South Africa or North Africa or Southeast Asia or Middle East. They get to see what their cities and villages need. And if they have access to a B, they can hopefully deploy funding or capital to explore those ideas to better humanity, better for themselves.
It is. That's cool, man. I mean, because of course that would be financially good, right? But the best thing is, like you said, that's not the main goal, right? The main goal is to improve their community, improve their village. That's a whole different level of people wanting to work and kind of tackle a problem that they're gonna you're more than likely it's gonna be successful. You know what I mean? It's a whole nother type of energy, right?
But think of here in the U.S., we've especially in major cities, we're able to continually advance our innovations and our tech because we have a food supply. We have income coming in through trade or whatever it may be, to where there's a lot of the population, maybe a third of the global population, that is still reliant on trying to figure out how to feed themselves.
Yep.
And so if we're able to tackle that problem to where that becomes almost like a standard taken care of, then they can start beginning on solving further problems. So instead of having maybe 2% or 5% of the global population trying to solve problems, you start to have 20%, 30%, and then we start exponentially advancing all sorts of society,
Right.
from all technologies.
What's cool too is that stuff. It helps even with immigration. We're getting deep now, but people.
That's what this is for.
But
DAO,
it is
DAO rabbit hole.
It is, because you are down. I mean, and it makes people where they're at, right? This is their friend. There's their people. There's their family. This is their country. So they're going to want to better that area, right? So you don't have all this migration and all these people. Nothing wrong with it, right? I'm just saying that's what you want to keep. You want to keep that human capital of those people that are hungry and have these great ideas and want to better their own, right? That's where they should be doing it. They should be doing it what their home is, because you have that kind of mentality, and now you have access to this a fund and capital. You can do amazing things, man. And hey, I'm just asking, are you doing something on Discord tonight? Are you doing the roll, the trait roll?
I've neglected that to
Okay,
Dusty.
no, I didn't mean to put. I'm just asking.
Well, we did it this morning on the FOMO Head show. So we usually do it Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays. So we did it Monday night, Wednesday we did it. So today.
No worries, because now we can go through this. We can go. That's all I was asking, because I didn't know if I had to wrap it up, man. But it's a great conversation, because it's so important, man. Because that's the kind of stuff we're talking about with when you say things like change the world, right? It doesn't have to be this big thing of this group is going to do it. You're going to change the concept, and that's what's really amazing when you start talking about change the world. You change the way people think about all this stuff. I remember kind of us being enveloped and engrossed of that thought, right, of where you're going to be able to help somebody. Man, he might just need a goat, right? And now he can start a farm and do all this stuff right there where he's at, and change his whole circumstance. And that's amazing, man.
Yeah, we'll think of, we have mostly in the US, we have this to where huge conglomerates, whether it's corporations or government entities, that are necessarily conducting the way that we are running society. So we're mostly using oil and gas vehicles because there's major oil companies, or there's certain ways of medicine because of the big pharma companies and whatnot. And I'm not here to say which one's right or wrong. I mean, I'm not a chemist or an engineer, or I don't know the exact implications of what's the best way of cars to run, but maybe there's other possibilities out there. But we're tied to making sure that these big companies are making profits, so that way our GDP is still able to grow, whereas we can start exploring other methods, whether there's a way for them to use sustainable energy like wind or solar in other parts of the world that can power their villages, as opposed to oil and gas, to where they're not held through only one avenue for energy source. So
right,
when you start powering those opportunities and just giving them life and just figuring out whether they work or not, it's almost like we're stuck in a silo to where there's only one avenue of funding for one idea. Whereas if we just start exploring other ideas, maybe this DAO can do that, and the people on the ground there are going to know what's best for their communities, what's going to be the best situation.
Yep, absolutely. And I'm dropping down here talking about describing what a community, a DAO community is, right? Formed around a central idea that each member thinks it's worth investing in. Money pooled within the DAO keeps track of each person's contribution and gives proportionate governance rights. What's cool about ours too is with these NFTs, right? And you're talking about the different traits. What you're going to start probably seeing is even these sub traits that are going to go and do kind of sub DAOs, and all of this kind of this thing, even co-DAO. I mean, so much is going to spawn from this. It's really cool and really just really innovative, man. That it's just something that we really don't know what it's going to look like, but you can see how this is going to really kind of really spawn other things, right?
Have you are you familiar with the term network state?
No. Network state?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So you've probably heard it a few times just in podcasts or other talks or videos.
Yeah.
But we have something now, called nation states, and that's where we
Yep.
have all of our countries and whatnot. Well, there's this idea of network states, and I'm still educating myself about it as well. But one guy pioneering the thought on it, his name is Balaji, 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 and he's necessarily like describing that the way that we have geographical nation states, that some of these online communities will become what they call network states, so almost countries in their own rights. And these network states are going to need governance, and that's what's cool about DAOs is they give us an opportunity of governing these network states. You can think of Facebook as a network state. Facebook has 3-4 billion people on its network, and there's a level of governance to it that the company Facebook created. So they create all the governance, all the rules, all the policies for the people on this network to abide to, and we're able to recreate network states or nation states in the digital realm, and the tokenization. So the NFTs, the tokens, are what's going to govern those. That gives us an opportunity to explore what's the best way of governance, what's going to be the best form of making decisions, and we get to make those in a decentralized way, which is great in itself. But network states is something that I believe the SBU is a network state. We just haven't fully explored it or fully maybe discussed the ideology of it. So it's something that maybe we can learn more about and start talking about later on.
Yeah, I wrote it down, man. That is cool because that's kind of what we've all been talking, especially in spaces, about is this owner economy, and that's what that is, content creation or whatever it is. Yeah, that is really, because you see it a lot now. Anyways, like you said, you see Facebook, you see Twitter, they're all heading up to Congress. Because you're starting to see them, they're intertwined with government anyway, and we don't want that kind of stuff, right? This kind of technocracy or whatever like that you want to call it, that we want more, like you said, this decentralization. That is very cool, man. Let's see here. Deep DAO. You ever heard of Deep DAO?
Not familiar with it, no.
Yeah, no, they're just like one of the ones that are kind of just really moving. DAO treasuries listed on Deep DAO went up 40x, right? They're just kind of, I guess, an aggregator of all these DAOs, from 400 million in January to 16 billion by December of 2021. And
Wow.
obviously, yeah, I mean, it's growing. The other cool thing, and I kind of jumped over here, but this is talking about a bull market, right? I think this is going back. It's this article's fairly new, but they're just talking about the bull market and how many people were introduced into crypto, into DAOs. But going forward, I think as we're coming out of this bear market, man, everything's so kind of low, and the sale prices on all this stuff, we're going to get a huge influx of new people, man. And I'm glad that FTX stuff is over. It looks like that's done and over with. And I think it's just going to be up. And I'm jumping into that because I had this over here. I just wanted to look at is this real quick. You remember you heard it. I know you have, but Mount Gox. This back here, is that blip of Mount Gox. And if anybody doesn't know what that is, that's when people said Bitcoin got hacked. They didn't. Mount Gox got hacked, and they took a lot of Bitcoin. Well, look at this. This is what you see here. I think this is what this is going to look like in about 5 years, man. 5-8 years, because this is the FTX collapse right here. So all I'm saying is this thing that seems so crazy and so big and all over the news, and that's all you hear. I remember Mount Gox was like that, and Bitcoin was still in its infancy, right? Still way back here. So
Yeah.
this is I feel the same way, man. But I think there's been a big, huge shift where people now really know that they got to get in and be self-custody and be in this decentralized mindset, right?
What's crazy is we're looking at this chart right here, and it looks like those are huge, huge movements, which they are in reference to this chart. But if you were to zoom in on just that Mount Gox era, it would look exactly like that. It had huge movement up and down. And yeah, what happened with Mt. Gox, it was back in, I believe, in 2013 or 14. And like 80% of the Bitcoin that was in circulation was held on Mt. Gox exchange. It was an exchange out of Tokyo, I believe. That got hacked. And so, everybody was very bearish or full of FUD in the marketplace around crypto. Crypto's not going to survive. It's not going to survive. And look, it was just another testament of how resilient this technology is. It suffered major attacks from Mt. Gox to the DAO hack to ICO era. That was bad for it. And then this last year with Terra Luna, Three Arrows Capital, Celsius, Voyager, FTX, you can kind of blend those all together within this last year. It just shows how resilient this technology is. It's going to continue pushing forward and keep weeding out these bad actors and continue improving to where humans are more resilient pushing this forward.
Absolutely. And it is, all it's showing you is that old system, that centralized finance is broken. This technology is supposed to replace where people fail. And people fail is because of that guy and his greed and his ridiculousness of thinking that he's going to get away with something like this, right? This is no different than Enron, right? It's no different than you see with the Federal Reserve and some of their craziness. But you know what the cool thing about all this is that this was all transparent. You could see it on the chain, on the blockchain, right? That's kind of what found out all of this stuff, even back with Three Arrows Cap, all back in June, right? This stuff was all being unraveled, man. And that's really what's neat too, is that technology, that whole idea of being transparent and seeing all this stuff on the chain. And you see how this paper, this garbage that this guy was doing was just unraveled, man. And, that's another thing. It's a testament to what we are all trying to do, right? With smart contracts and building on these blockchains, layer ones, layer twos. It's just neat, man. Like I said, it's obviously sometimes it's a little difficult when people don't know fully what's going on over here. Cause it's funny. Like I said, I get a lot of texts, get a lot of calls, and people are thinking that you got wrecked, man. Are you all right? Everything's fine. But man, we're great. We're great. But it's just that people are not understanding. But hey, that's what's awesome about, again, how early we are, Austin. It's amazing, man. But let me go here, going down the chart, because there's one more piece that I want to look at the end, because this wraps it up in real nice terms, man. Is that what we're doing as the bees, the DAO? This is amazing, man. And people were really going to start seeing this come into focus about how well this was put together, because this article ends in what we're doing, right? It talks about this kind of merge of a DAO and VCs, and it's pretty cool, man. But here's points to consider. Decentralized autonomous organizations are a good vehicle for addressing some of the gaps in traditional VC landscape. Some advantages include expanding access to VC investments, increased investor flexibility, increased diversity of funded ideas, and decentralizing control, and better access to public authority. And I touched on this at the beginning. And that's what's cool, is, like I said, is the diversity of all the different ideas. Like, you think different than me, Austin. It's and that's great. And I think differently than FOMO, and FOMO thinks differently than Tim. It's great to have all these these minds, but not this overarching hierarchy. Like, now, okay, you're the guy, right? We all have a part of this because of the bees that we have. And it's just kind of wrapping it back around. These are things of why I think this is going to work much better than that hierarchical type VC stuff, man.
Absolutely.
Expanding on two concerns, regulate. That's one that we definitely we need to start having some real guardrails, regulations, and of course security. Right. That is another thing. Is some of this stuff with smart contracts. That's why I'm always glad our devs are awesome, top notch, and all of our stuff gets audited. Right. So that's one concern, especially with DAOs or any kind of DEXs or with smart contracts, layer twos, is the security. Right. But also regulations. We do need some of the guardrails up. I think obviously with this FTX and all the other garbage, that's been happening this past year, I think it put a fire under Congress and the Senate that they will start rolling out some plans, right? And
Yeah, what's concerning is I was watching some of the hearing from yesterday with FTX, and one of the congressmen said something along the lines of, with this catastrophe, can we change the name from cryptocurrency to creepy dough currency? And then just seeing some of the comments and I don't know how, if they're being facetious or not, but it just shows that there's a lot of room for education, a lot of room for understanding what this tech does, what it's about. And then also I seen recently that I believe it was the CFTC chairman or one of the people over there declared Bitcoin, Ethereum, and I believe one other one as a commodity. So that changes some of the regulation framework going forward. I don't know how legitimized that is, but I did see that in a couple of articles and news releases from yesterday or a couple of days ago.
It is. It's like a toss up. Most of the people, Senate and congressmen, they really don't know. But there's a guy, I think it's in Minnesota. He's a congressman, and he was literally, when he was questioning the other guy that's doing the bankruptcy for FTX, dude, he did know. He knew with crypto. He goes, this isn't a black eye on crypto or blockchain or any of that stuff. He said this actually, puts a great light on them, because this is just the same old garbage that we were just talking about anyway, with all the people where they're the ones that are the problem, man. It's just people. And when we can get all this worked out and everybody start kind of working from the same page, I think this is huge, man. But this is what I wanted to end it up with, man, because this is pretty amazing, because this is us, bro. With the growth in Web3 initiatives and projects in the metaverse, the emergence of DAOs will continue to rise. VCs who would like to participate in the Web3 space opportunities are now challenged to stay competitive and relevant in the light of these DAOs. Despite that democratization brought about by DAOs, investors need to remain wary of the risks of DAOs, mainly regarding investment strategies and securities. VCs may continue to have the edge over DAOs regarding their network of contacts built over the years and their expertise in scaling businesses with startup founders. To get the best of both worlds, investors should keep an eye out for the DAO VC hybrid model that is leveraging the community-driven ethos of DAOs and VC's operational expertise. This new hybrid setup will continue to challenge the boundaries of the traditional VC setup. Further, look into the ways to make this an effective model, right? With the emergence of DAOs and the hybrid model, startup founders become the winners with more funding options and a comprehensive set of investors to choose from the will best align with their vision. And that's it's kind of exactly what we talk about. We get to look at all of these projects that are going to be spinning up, some that might just kind of been building in digital silence like us, Austin. But we're going to be able to look and since so many of us kind of been out and doing our own type of things and studying this space, how we've been doing it, right? Whether it's in going to IRL events or being on spaces or doing YouTube videos or whatever, however you did your own research in this, we're all going to be able to look at this through the lens of what we've done as bees and kind of helping with security and education and helping people safely navigate this space. And then obviously I know a big chunk of our group is all, like you were talking about, humanitarian efforts and making this world a better place. That's really what's cool, man, is we're really going to be able to do this. It's kind of crazy that this thing is kind of looks like it's talking about us, man.
Absolutely. And it's in my head, I guess it's much bigger than just humanitarian, right? Much bigger than philanthropic, because those words have kind of gotten muddied, I guess, in the sense of to where it's like just like pure donation. And I can see this as an opportunity, not just as humanitarian, making the world a better place, but making the world more more fruitful, more prosperous, more thriving, all over, not just for a select group of people. And you get the combination, the melting pot of people, the melting pot of ideas, the melting pot of expertise, to where they're able to bring in, hey,
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, man.
We got you.
What'd you guys turn your clocks back? Did you start early?
No. Hey, Austin was laughing at me because I even missed the auction. Right when I clicked over, it went bloop. But no, you're right, Austin. I mean, that's there's a lot, man. There's a lot to kind of go over, man. We're just touching the surface, man. And it's exciting times, man. This is a technology that's really going to, because you keep hearing senators, congressmen, you see big tech companies, you see them all, flooding into this space. The smartest people are coming in here. The best developers are coming in here. Engineers are coming in here. This is the new financial system, and they know it, right? And that's why you see CBDCs. That's why you see the new digital sterling pound coming out, which is going to be coming out next year. So much is happening.
What is it? Brazil, Russia, China. Can't remember what they called it, but Iran. The thing they called it the BRIC, BRIC, the BRIC.
Yep.
They're creating a monetary fund to back a digital dollar that they're creating. Mm-hmm. So they're going away from the International Monetary Fund and the US dollar to create their own monetary system, all using, distributed ledger technology. So it's the world's heading there, and us as people, we can choose to invest in humanity and build it, or we can just let it pass us by and let it be created by others.
Yep. Right on, man.
I'm sure I was listening to most of this, but I'm sure you guys touched on the accountability portion of DAOs and just how, we have one be one vote, how this can all be distributed and then be accountable. So you don't run into things like FTX, where, money goes sideways to Alameda or wherever else, and it can't be tracked after that. And I think that cryptocurrency, and we know the blockchain, how accountable that makes everything. And I think that is going to really enlighten a lot of people about, when they donate somewhere, where is it really going? I think it's amazing. One stat I saw was just talking about charities, Goodwill. The guy who runs the Goodwill, donations, I think he gets $4.6 million a year. He's running a nonprofit for charity, and he's pulling in 4.6 million. Now, God bless him, that's great, but I don't think a lot of people know that. And I think the way we set up things and the way the DAOs can work and the accountability and the processes that we can put in place, everybody's going to see where our attention gets focused, and then as things get distributed or we pick up different programs, I think that is going to be the best part about it, is that when Bee Honey moves, where it's going. And that's the greatest part about it. I think about the DAOs and the potential that we have.
Well, it is beautiful.
Did I make up for a little bit of a?
You got the last 5 minutes
coming in hot.
He's like an encore, right? He's like the encore. There you go. Yeah, no, it is, man. And that's why the things that we talk about being transparent. This is built all on the on chain, right? Everything is transparent. That's amazing. And yeah, man, I'm excited. And it's a lot of cool stuff going on. And we're just getting started. New Year is going to be amazing, right? 2023 is going to look is bright future, man. It's good stuff.
I hope I get a new studio for Christmas, because this one is not working for me.
It's not working out too. So.
I'm on the backup to the backup right now, so
it's all good. No worries, man.
my daughter almost handed me her Mac. I was like, nah, I definitely don't want that. I'm gonna keep working with my PCs. We'll see what happens. All
good.
No matter what, you got the brick wall behind you.
That's right. That's the only thing I can count on. $17 curtain.
Oh, that's awesome, man. But we're going to continue this, Wednesdays. That's what we're going to do, is talk about the DAO. And anybody in the audience, start reaching out. Love to have everybody's perspective, right? Let's talk about it. It's pretty cool. Everybody, I see all the bees as their profile pics. That means you are the DAO. You are this project. So, talk about it. What's up? I don't care if you're brand new, or you've been here for 3 years. It's good to hear what you, what you think about what's going on here. It all matters, man. Yep.
Absolutely. I love it.
Awesome. Well, let's wrap it up, boys.
All right, man. So yeah, Austin said at the beginning, give us a like, share, and spread this around, and get into that Twitter. Start interacting with everybody's, memes. Everybody's doing awesome work. Really appreciate our community. It's really, like I said, it's neat to see so many people, jumping in and doing this, because this is not, most communities can't do this kind of stuff, right? It's usually a couple people making memes, and then everybody goes and kind of does that. We have a large army of people that are very, very talented and that are learning all kinds of different things that we all can do. It's awesome. Just even to see all the different spaces that our community that all do throughout the day. We got people doing things in Discord. We got all kinds of people setting up these contests. Our community is growing. It's getting very strong. I remember, like I said, you did that 60 days spaces, Austin, with a lot of other
I didn't do it. That was a community doing it.
That was a community. But I'm talking about then we, at the same time, we were doing an IRL event, right, in Austin, right? It's just very cool. You got to look. There's a powerful group here, and people are just starting to get a glimpse. So thank you, everybody. Appreciate you.
I know I was jumping in and out. Did you spin the wheel for Dusty and pick somebody for the?
Yeah, we already did that too. Thank you.
You've already missed. You missed all the chores. You missed the house.
Yeah, you already got that, man. But
check.
Tomorrow,
yeah,
I know.
Another thing, Ray. So yeah, Ray said like. So hit the thumbs up, share it. But one thing that'd be really great for helping the channel grow and helping the Be Social TV YouTube channel is leave some comments and suggesting things that you'd like to see. What are some topics you'd like to be covered? What are some ideas you'd like to be explored? What is some content that you would enjoy consuming on this nightly basis? So leave some comments, leave some feedback on what you all like to see on the channel, and things to improve, things that you'd like to see further explored, ideas further talked about, what kind of guests you'd love to see on here. So make sure to leave some comments, share it, like it, and get everybody, their mom and their dog and everybody watching.
That's right. Right on, man. Appreciate you guys. And we'll see you. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll be there tomorrow. And get over in the Discord too. Get it all going. Chat it up. Good stuff, man.
Whoop, whoop.
That's right. Thanks, man. Thanks,
all right.
Austin.
I'll be back tomorrow. I'm coming in early tomorrow.
Right on. It's all good.
Make sure we get in there.
Right on, man.
See you guys.
Later.